Do you know what keeps me awake at night? It's not the latest news or political scandals. The fact is that most families are just one step away from poverty. One catastrophe is enough for their food supplies to run out. My name is Zach, and I have been training since 2012. Today, I will share 11 products that will give you the most value for your money. These products helped my family survive power outages, job loss, and all of life's hardships. These are not exotic powders or military rations. These are products you can buy in any supermarket right now. Let's sort this out. Before we begin, I want to say that this is not about fear. It's about freedom. Freedom that comes with the realization that you can feed your family, regardless of circumstances. Whether it's a storm that cuts off power for a week, an unexpected job loss, or supply chain disruptions, having these products will give you what money can't buy: calmness. So let's talk about what really works. The first product is white rice. Let's start with the king of survival foods, white rice. You might think, Zach, rice is boring. Yes, it may seem so by itself, but here's what makes it incredible for those preparing for unforeseen situations, especially on a budget. A pack of white rice weighing 11 kilograms costs about $8 to $12 in most supermarkets or wholesale clubs. This pack contains approximately 41,000 calories. Let me explain. If you eat about 2,000 calories a day in an emergency, one pack will provide food for more than 20 days for $10. With proper storage, meaning in a cool, dry place away from moisture and pests, white rice can last up to 30 years. 30 years. Compare this to brown rice, which lasts only about 6 months due to its higher oil content. Brown rice is certainly healthier for everyday consumption, but for long-term storage, white rice is your best friend. This is what many do not know. Rice is not just food. You can use raw rice as a desiccant in your storage. Put it in a sock and you have a homemade heating pad. Just heat it in the microwave for 2 minutes. Let it cool for a minute, and it's ready. It can also be frozen as a cold compress. If you drop your phone in water, rice can help absorb the moisture. The possibilities are endless. You can steam it, fry it, make rice pudding, or add it to soups and stews. Combine it with beans for a complete protein. Mix it with canned meat for a hearty dinner. Rice helps stretch the supplies in your pantry. In 2015, my wife and I faced financial difficulties. I had just changed professions, and money was running out. We lived on rice, beans, and whatever canned goods were at hand for almost 2 months. Not too luxurious, but we managed. It was then that I truly understood the value of these basic products in the house. The main thing is to buy them in bulk and store them properly. If you want to do even more, pour the rice into bags with oxygen absorbers and store them in containers designed for food storage. This will maximize the shelf life. If stored in its original packaging inside an airtight container in your pantry, the product will last for many years. The second important product is dried beans. If rice is the king, then beans are the queen. Together, they rule the world of supplies. Dried beans are one of the most nutritious and long-lasting foods to store. They are rich in protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. A package of dried beans usually costs about $1 to $2 and yields approximately 6 cups of cooked beans. This is incredible value. Pinto, black beans, red beans, white beans, lentils. Each has its own place. I prefer variety, as different beans have different tastes and textures. When you eat survival food for several weeks, this variety matters for mental health. Here's the thing about beans. When stored properly in a cool, dry place, they can last 30 years or more. Some claim that they take longer to cook as they age, and that's true, but they remain nutritious and edible. I was cooking beans that were 10 years old, and they were quite decent. It just took an extra hour to boil, but they softened. Beans are incredibly versatile. They can be used to make chili, fried beans, bean soup, hummus if you have chickpeas, or simply seasoned and served as a side dish. They are hearty, inexpensive, and one of the few plant-based foods that contain a significant amount of protein. If you combine beans with rice, you will get all 9 essential amino acids your body needs. This is a complete protein. This is very important if meat becomes scarce or too expensive. However, dried beans require water and time to cook, which should be considered in certain survival situations. But if you have the means to boil water, you are in luck. I keep a small camping gas heater and fuel canister specifically for this case. Even if there is no electricity, I can cook beans. One tip: soak the beans overnight before cooking. This will reduce cooking time and make them easier to digest. If you forgot to soak them, you can do a quick soak by boiling for 2 minutes and then leaving covered for an hour. This is almost as effective. The third important product is canned meat. Let's talk about protein. Canned meat is one of the most sensible additions to your survival stock. We are talking about canned chicken, tuna, salmon, Spam, beef, and Vienna sausages, all of which are excellent. Canned meat usually lasts from 2 to 5 years, and the best part is, it's already ready to eat. You can eat it straight from the can if necessary. Canned chicken is my favorite choice. A 12-ounce can contains about 42 grams of protein and costs around $2 to $3. It can be added to salad, mixed with rice, made into chicken soup, or just eaten plain. It's a versatile and filling product. Tuna and salmon are incredible sources of omega-3 fatty acids, which are beneficial for heart and brain function. In the long term, when fresh fish is unavailable, these canned options will help you not miss out on important nutrients. I always choose tuna in water rather than in oil. This is a low-calorie product that is not so messy. Spam is often criticized, but it is actually a true survival food. A can containing 340 grams has over 1,000 calories and 96 grams of protein. It is calorie dense and has a long shelf life. You won't eat it every day, but when you need quick energy and protein, it comes to the rescue. Corned beef hash is another favorite dish in our home. It has protein, calories, and it tastes quite good. My children eat it, which is important when you need to feed a family in stressful times. Here's a piece of advice. Don't buy only the meat that seems necessary for your diet. Buy the meat that your family will actually eat. I made this mistake at first. I stocked up on sardines because they are nutritious and inexpensive. It turned out that no one in our house eats them. Learn from my mistakes. Try these products before stocking up. Fourth is oatmeal. Oatmeal is completely underrated in the prepper community. Oats or old-fashioned oatmeal can last up to 30 years in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers. They are inexpensive, versatile, and rich in nutrients. A large pack of oatmeal costs just a few dollars and provides weeks of breakfasts. Oatmeal is, of course, the first thing that comes to mind. And yes, it is a hearty breakfast. But oats can be used in various ways. You can grind it into flour and use it for baking. You can make granola, oatmeal cookies, or even savory oatmeal with vegetables and spices. It's a great source of fiber, which is important when your diet mainly consists of long-lasting foods. Believe me, digestive health matters in an emergency. One of the things I like about oats is how easy they are to prepare. You can cook them on the stove, or, if there's no electricity, make overnight oats. Just mix oats with water or powdered milk, let it steep overnight, and in the morning, you will have a ready dish. No heating is required. Oats also have a calming effect. In stressful situations, a warm bowl of oatmeal can be incredibly soothing. This is familiar and simple, and this psychological comfort is underrated. Preparation is not just about calories and nutrition, but also about maintaining morale. I have both oatmeal and steel-cut oats in my pantry. Steel-cut oats take longer to cook but have a denser texture. Oatmeal cooks faster. Having both options gives me a choice depending on the situation. Fifth is peanut butter. Peanut butter is the perfect comfort food, which is also a staple for preparation. An ordinary jar of peanut butter can last about a year unopened, possibly 6 to 9 months in the pantry. Once opened, it can last about 2 to 3 months. But here's the thing. You won't leave an open jar of peanut butter for long. It's just too delicious. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter contain about 190 calories, 16 grams of fat, and 8 grams of protein. It is a calorie-dense and nutritious product. In a survival situation when you expend a lot of energy, peanut butter provides you with a quick source of energy. The beauty of peanut butter is that it doesn't need to be cooked or prepared. You can eat it straight from the jar with a spoon. Spread it on crackers, mix it with oatmeal, or add it to a protein shake if you have powdered milk. My children like it, and because of this, it is convenient to replenish supplies. We buy, eat, and replace. It is the perfect preparation cycle. If you think about long-term storage, powdered peanut butter is a great option. Most of the fat has been removed, allowing it to be stored much longer, in some cases up to 10 years. You just need to add water to restore it. Although it's not as tasty as the natural one, it's quite suitable and takes up much less space. One thing to note is that natural peanut butter, made only from peanuts and salt, has a shorter shelf life compared to products containing preservatives and hydrogenated oils. For everyday use, choose natural. For emergency supplies, processed. It sounds a bit illogical, but in this case, preservatives will be your allies. The next product is pasta. Pasta is another carbohydrate source that is perfect for storage. It is inexpensive, filling, and lasts a long time. 1 pound of pasta can usually be bought for $1, containing about 1,600 calories compared to a pound of rice that provides about 590 calories. Pasta offers almost 3 times more calories per pound. Pasta has a shelf life of 1 to 2 years in its original packaging. If you transfer it to airtight containers or vacuum bags, this period can be extended to 8 to 10 years, sometimes even longer. It is incredibly versatile. Pasta can be used to make spaghetti, macaroni and cheese, salads, casseroles, soups. There are countless options. One of the best qualities of pasta is the speed of cooking. Boil water, add pasta, and in 10 minutes, it can be eaten. This speed is important in survival conditions when fuel needs to be conserved. In my cupboard, I store several types of pasta: spaghetti, penne, elbow macaroni, and egg noodles. Different shapes are better suited for different dishes, and variety helps avoid food fatigue. If you eat pasta 3 times a week, you don't want it to look the same every time. Combine pasta with canned tomatoes, canned meat, and spices, and you have a hearty meal. It's not gourmet, but it's filling. And in a crisis, that's important. Here's a tip. Choose pasta made from durum wheat or semolina. It lasts longer and has a longer shelf life than egg noodles. Egg noodles are good too, but they are better suited for short-term storage, from 5 to 8 years, unlike 25 to 30. The next product is canned vegetables. Let's talk about vegetables. Fresh produce is wonderful but spoils quickly. Canned vegetables, on the other hand, can be stored on the shelf for 2 to 5 years, sometimes even longer. They retain most of their nutritional value, despite what some people think. Studies show that canned vegetables are almost as nutritious as fresh ones. I stockpile canned corn, green beans, peas, carrots, vegetable mixes, and tomatoes. Tomatoes hold special significance as they are the basis for many recipes. Canned diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato paste, all are staples in my pantry. From them, one can make chili, spaghetti sauce, soup, stew, salsa. Tomatoes are incredibly versatile. However, it is worth noting that canned products with high acidity, such as tomatoes, have a shorter shelf life compared to low-acid products, typically ranging from 18 months to 2 years. This is still enough time, but it is important to consider. They should be updated more often than canned meat and legumes. Canned vegetables add vibrant colors, flavor, and nutrients to your dishes. They provide vitamins, minerals, and fiber that you won't get just from rice and beans, making the food tastier. A can of corn added to rice and beans significantly enhances the dish. A can of green beans as a side adds variety. When buying canned vegetables, try to choose options with low sodium if possible. High sodium content can become a problem if you eat canned foods for a long time. Your body needs some salt, especially if you lead an active lifestyle, but too much can cause issues. And one more thing, don't forget about canned potatoes. They are not so common, but they are worth having. Potatoes are filling, versatile, and go well with almost any food. They can be fried, mashed, or added to stews. Now let's move on to salt and sugar. Although they may seem simple, they are vital. Pure salt without additives, such as iodine, can be stored indefinitely. I am talking about decades, even centuries. The same applies to sugar. If kept in a dry and airtight place, it will not spoil. Salt is not only a seasoning, but also a preservative. It can be used for salting meat, preserving vegetables, and extending the shelf life of other products. Throughout history, salt has been one of the most valuable commodities in the world due to its preserving properties. In long-term survival conditions, salt allows you to make the most of any fresh food you find. Salt is also critically important for your health. Your body needs sodium to function properly. If you eat a lot of rice and beans, you need to add salt to maintain electrolyte balance, especially if you sweat a lot or are physically active. Sugar provides quick energy, as it is pure carbohydrates. In an extreme situation, access to quick energy can save a life. Sugar also lifts the mood. A little sweetness can significantly improve the situation when everything around is stressful. Besides consumption, sugar has other uses. It can be used to produce alcohol for sterilization or exchange. It can attract and catch insects. As a last resort, it can be used for home wound care, although I wouldn't recommend it unless you are in a desperate situation. I always have iodized salt for everyday use and non-iodized sea salt or curing salt for storage. As for sugar, I prefer white granulated sugar because it lasts longer. Brown sugar can harden over time, while honey, although it lasts forever, takes up more space and is more expensive per kilogram. Speaking of honey, it is worth noting that it is the only product that truly never spoils. Archaeologists found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that remained completely edible even after thousands of years. Honey is amazing. It is a natural sweetener with antimicrobial properties and healing qualities. It can be used to sweeten oatmeal, tea, or baked goods. Honey also serves as a remedy for coughs. Its effectiveness is comparable to over-the-counter cough medicines for children. Additionally, it helps treat minor cuts and burns due to its antibacterial properties. If you have digestive problems, a spoonful of honey can help soothe the stomach. Honey is a great item for trade. In times of prolonged crisis, people will trade for comforting foods, and honey is one of the best. It is valuable, easily transportable, and positively perceived by everyone. The only downside of honey is its price. It is more expensive than sugar, but considering its versatility and unlimited shelf life, it is worth having in stock. I keep several jars of honey in our pantry. One piece of advice: raw honey is better than processed, as it retains more beneficial enzymes and nutrients, although both can be stored for a long time. If processed honey is cheaper and fits your budget, choose that. Next is vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is often overlooked, but it is critically important. Fats are necessary in your diet. They provide energy, help the body absorb vitamins, and maintain a feeling of fullness. In survival conditions, fat is your ally. The problem with vegetable oil is its shelf life. Most oils will go rancid over time. Olive oil lasts 1 to 2 years, but there is one oil that stands out: coconut oil. It can last 2 to 3 years, or longer with proper storage. It is solid at room temperature, which makes it easy to store, and incredibly versatile. Coconut oil is suitable for frying, baking, or even for skincare and first aid. It has antimicrobial properties that help prevent infections from minor cuts and abrasions. If you don't like coconut oil, choose vegetable or canola oil, but plan to replace it more often. Buy small bottles and change them regularly. Don't leave them for years, otherwise you'll end up with rancid oil that is unusable. Another option is clarified butter, ghee, which lasts for several months even at room temperature, and even longer in the refrigerator. It gives your dishes a rich, buttery flavor without needing refrigeration like regular butter. Fat often becomes a missing element in survival supplies. People stock up on carbohydrates and proteins, forgetting about fats. Don't make this mistake. Include some oil or fat in your supplies. And finally, powdered milk. Powdered milk is the last item on our list, and it can be a real find. It can be stored for 2 to 10 years, depending on the type and storage conditions. It provides calcium, protein, and vitamins that are hard to obtain from other long-lasting products. Dry milk can be used to make regular milk by simply mixing it with water. It can be added to oatmeal, coffee, smoothies, or baking recipes. This is especially useful if you have children. Milk is something that children are used to drinking, and its presence can create an atmosphere of coziness and normalcy. Also, from powdered milk, one can prepare other dairy products. If one knows how to do this, they can obtain butter, yogurt, or even cheese. This versatility is very important in the long term. There are 2 main types: skimmed dry milk and whole milk powder. Skimmed lasts longer, up to 10 years or more. Whole milk powder contains fat, which can make it spoil faster, usually lasting from 2 to 5 years. I store both types. Skimmed milk is for long-term storage, while whole milk is for short-term use because it tastes better. One common complaint is the taste. Dried milk does not taste exactly like fresh milk. It is close, but not identical. My advice is to get used to it. Add it to recipes where the taste will be hidden, such as oatmeal or instant mashed potatoes. Over time, your taste will adapt. For those who are lactose intolerant, there is goat milk powder, which some tolerate better. It is more expensive, but it is an option. There are also non-dairy alternatives, such as soy milk powder or coconut milk powder, if dairy products are not suitable at all. So here are 11 survival products that will give you the best value for your money. They are not luxurious, not exotic, but effective. They are accessible. You can find them in any grocery store, and they will help feed your family, no matter what life prepares for you. Here is the truth. Preparation does not require a huge budget or a bunker in the mountains. It requires determination and consistency in small steps. Start with 1 or 2 items from this list. The next time you are in the store, buy an extra bag of rice or a few cans of beans. Build your supplies gradually. Before you know it, you will have a pantry that provides real security. I have been doing this for over 10 years, and I can tell you from experience, peace of mind is worth every penny spent. When the power was cut off in our area for 5 days a few years ago, we didn't panic or rush to the store. We had food and water. We were fine. This is what one should strive for, to live not in fear, but with confidence.